Hello guys, your girl is back with another interesting video. Now the video is by a sister who is calling out everyone of my race to talk about Palestine. Just at the beginning of the video, she calls my American brothers and sisters to talk about Palestine. This was after the neighborhood talk made a post about Hamas threatening the United States over giving help to Israel. Now she said she has not yet done her fact checking about this, but she calls out my fellow black people for this. Let's check it out.
Good morning, black people and Palestine. Black people and Palestine. Black people, American black people, we need to talk about Palestine. So the neighborhood talk made a post this morning, and it was I mean, I love the post. Now don't get me wrong, I love the post. The post is about Iran honestly threatening the United States, saying we need to get the fuck to Palestine, we need to get the fuck out of helping Israel, we need to stop. So that, I don't know if it's true or not, I haven't done my fact checking, that's not what I'm here to talk about. The fucking comments that are like memifying this and saying like, oh, we got missiles, we got weapons, let's fight, let's fight. How the US get dragged into it? This is my fucking problem with black people. This is my problem with us. This is my problem with us. We can laugh about our own pain, y'all. That's ours. That's ours. So when we're laughing about getting shot by the police, when we're laughing about, slavery, when we're laughing about discrimination and microaggressions, we can do that because it's our struggle. Y'all are asking how the U.S. got into it. I'll tell you how the U.S. got into it. Yeah, they've already sent, and they are sending more billions of dollars to Israel to fund their literal genocide, dropping on the heads of children in fucking hospitals, on the streets, in the places that the government said was safe. They're committing crimes. This is really the problem I have with people in general, but I'm talking to black people right now because I really need y'all to hear me on this one. Y'all won't get it until it's you again. I swear y'all act like y'all don't want to go back to slavery in theory, but in practice, y'all are still very much giving slave. Y'all are still very much giving slave. Get fucking shit together.
Welcome back, guys, and I must say that was really some energetic video over there. But anyways, away from her energy to what she was saying in her video, different people have stitched her video, and I can't wait to check the stitches out. So if you're also feeling the way I am feeling, then come with me as we check out people's reactions on this video. Here are the stitches.
African American people, but black American people, okay? Foundational black American, whatever you want to call yourself. Please, before you open your mouth and you talk about anything that's happening right now in Israel, Gaza, Palestine, whatever, understand that the Palestinians have done so much for black Americans when it came to the civil rights movement that it's a shame that you don't know, but also a shame that you don't mother show some respect to those people, because while they were in the midst of their own holy war, okay, they made it a point to be like, oh yeah, and what they got going on over there is a lot like what we got going on over here, and that's kind of up. So before y'all really get on here and embarrass yourself, pick up a book, because y'all making us look stupid.
Black people, because there's about 5 million black people watching the show right now. A lot of black people say, why should we care about this? That's all the way over there, and we got enough stuff to deal with right here in our own country. I'm gonna give you a couple quick reasons why you should. Reason number one, as black Americans, we are taxpayers. And as long as the United States continues to fund Israel with up to $4 billion in funding for their military, supply them with weapons, and help them sustain what's going on over there, we are responsible, not just black Americans, but all Americans. There's also a fundamental question about justice. We have a duty to do the right thing. Black folk have always been on the right side of history. Black folk have always been the conscience of this nation. That's why we said what's happening in South Africa is wrong. Black folk were struggling. We were getting beaten by police. We were getting shot by police. We were getting killed by Reaganomics and George Bush after that. But we still continued to side with South Africa. Why? Because we needed to be on the right side of history. Some of you say, well, That ain't our problem. That ain't our fight. We got to deal with our own stuff. We have to prioritize. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you, sis. But here's the thing. The same systems and structures that make us vulnerable here make people vulnerable in Latin America, make people vulnerable in Syria, make people vulnerable in Egypt. You see, capitalism and homophobia and transphobia and racism and white supremacy, they don't have passports and visas. They don't stop at the border. They flow left and right. They're transnational oppressions and transnational systems. What am I saying? I'm saying that if you want to stop oppression here, you got to stop oppression everywhere. We can't have picks, as they say in my hood. And some of y'all be like, well, I'm a Pan-Africanist. I'm a nationalist. I only care about black people where black people at. Cool. Well, guess what? There's African people in Israel. There's African people in Palestine. There's plenty of Afro-Palestinians in Gaza. Go to Jericho. Go to Ain Diuk and see what you see. You go see folks that look like you. Go to Jerusalem. Go to the old city. You go see folks that look like they could be on your block. You go into the state of Israel. You know how many Ethiopians are there? Do you know how many Eritreans and Sudanese are trying to seek asylum inside of the state of Israel right now? There's a whole bunch of folk that look like you. So even if you only into skinship as kinship, you need to care. But that ain't the biggest reason. The biggest reason is because it's the right thing to do. Anyway, be sure.
Does Israel and Palestine welcome black people? If not, if so, there's a difference. Because if black people face racism in Israel and Palestine, I don't want nothing to do with it. Hate me, love me, cancel me, whatever you want to do. I'm tired. I'm on the side of who's on the side with me. I'm not on the side of bullshit. Sorry.
Okay, there's a comment that I wanted to respond to, but I couldn't find it. But I'm going to respond anyway. And basically, they were asking, why as a black man do you stand up for the Palestinian people? It's simple. Very influential leaders like Muhammad Ali spoke against the oppression of the Palestinian people. And Malcolm X was a big advocate for the Palestinian people. The Zionist argument to justify Israel's present occupation of Arab Palestinians has no intelligent or legal basis in history. Malcolm X. And Huey P. Newton as well. Israel was created by Western imperialism and maintained by Western firepower. This is exactly what's going on right now. And the Black Panther Party long supports the Palestinian people. This is actually a newspaper article ran by the Black Panther Party back in the 60s about the Palestinian being occupied territory of the Israeli government. And with Angela Davis, the Black solidarity with Palestine allows us to understand the nature of the contemporary racism more deeply. All these historical activists all supported Palestine because they fought against the same system that has us oppressed here in America. The Zionists and white nationalism are the same. So everybody needs to wake up.
So all of the black people staying silent right now, the first place they're going to bomb is your neighborhood. The first place the U.S. will bomb is your neighborhood. Don't believe me? History speaks for itself. Tulsa, Oklahoma. The first place they bomb will be your neighborhood. But for all the black people saying it's not our business, it is your business because they're people that look like us. And they're allowing it to happen. The whole world is watching as this happens and they're doing nothing about it. They're not lifting a finger unless they're aiding the colonizers. For all y'all staying silent, acting like this ain't got nothing to do with us, they're going to bomb you first. You'll be the first one in those camps. All the white people too, oh, you'll get a taste of oppression. Trump gave you a taste of it. That's why y'all was like, this is not our America. It is. This is just the first time you're experiencing our America. So y'all be next. The poor whites, the white women, the gay whites. You don't think that this global crisis has nothing to do with you? This side has nothing to do with you when they're showing you how expendable human life is to them? Bomb your neighborhood first.
Palestine is racist towards black people. Let's talk about it. So after the video I put up on Friday, I got a bunch of comments that suggested that we as black people should stay out of the conflict because Palestinians are also racist. And in fact, they have a city called Al Abid, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, which means slave, and it's meant for black people to stay in slum-like conditions there. So obviously I did my own research so that I could reach my own conclusions. I also found this really cool story about this Afro-Palestinian journalist here, Nasreen Salem, and she went through detail in terms of the persecution she's experienced both from Palestinian people and the IDF. Additionally, we should know that Palestine participated in the Arab slave trade and slavery was only abolished in the country in the early 20th century. However, despite all of this information, I am still very much pro-Palestine, even more so than ever before, and let me tell you why. If you care about Afro-Palestinians, black people living in Palestine, then you'd understand that they are going through a side by way of the Israeli government, and they are also experiencing discrimination from their Palestinian peers as well as Israelis as well. But in order for us to fight for their freedom from said discrimination, they need to be alive to see us fight for them. They need to survive the side. So if you care about black people all over the world and you care about Afro-Palestinians, then there is absolutely no excuse for you not to be pro-Palestine in this conflict. If you are just using this as a reason to say that you should stay out or that black people shouldn't get involved, then simply put, you don't care about other people who look like you who are not in your immediate vicinity. So no, I don't think that's a good enough reason or even a reason at all to not be pro-Palestine.
United States forces are facing increased threats, raising concerns that the Israel-Hamas war may spill over across the region. Drones and other tools were launched at bases hosting U.S. troops in Iraq. Now, the attacks helped put Washington on heightened alert for activity by Iran-backed armed groups following similar incidents in Iraq and Syria. While a U.S. warship intercepted aims potentially heading towards Israel, Biden has sent naval power to the Middle East in the past 2 weeks, including 2 aircraft carriers, other warships, and about 2,000 Marines. Now, there has been an uptick in attacks on U.S. forces since the conflict on Israel broke out from Hamas, the armed group that rules Gaza, attacked southern Israel. Now, the United States has 2,500 troops in Iraq and 900 more in neighboring Syria on a mission to advise and assist local forces in fighting the ISIL armed group, which in 2014 seized swaths of territory in both countries. Now, in past years, Iranian-backed fighters regularly targeted U.S. forces and the U.S. embassy with ours. Such attacks had abated under a truce in place since last year, and Iraq has had a period of relative calm. But the war in Gaza has revived tensions. The country's top Shia Muslim leader last week condemned Israel and called on the world to stand up to the terrible brutality in Gaza. Now, a powerful armed faction with close ties to Iran accused the U.S. of supporting Israel in unaliving innocent people and said it should leave Iraq. The increased tension has provoked warnings from officials across the lines of the risk of a spillover of the conflict to the wider region. Russian foreign minister warned of the potential for a regional crisis, saying efforts to pin blame on Iran were adding fuel to the fire. Now, the same day, European Commission President bailed the risk of regional spillover from the Israel-Hamas war as real. Earlier this week, the United Nations Middle East Peace Envoy warned Security Council that the risk of expansion of the conflict between Israel and Hamas was very real and extremely dangerous. I fear that we are at the brink of a deep and dangerous abyss that could change the trajectory of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, if not of the Middle East as a whole, said Tor Winsland, addressing the 15 member body via video from Doha, Qatar. Now, the threat is very much ongoing, and in fact, the threat picture continues to evolve. Ray said here in the US, we cannot and do not discount the possibility that Hamas or other foreign terrorist organizations could exploit the conflict to call on their supporters to conduct attacks on our own soil. Now, he said that Jews and Muslims alike, as well as their institutions and houses of worship have been threatened on the U.S. and told reporters that the Bureau is moving quickly to mitigate the threats. Now, getting back to the video, let's check out people's reactions in the comments. People responded, of course, to what a sister said in her video. And the first comment reads, "Girl, the U.S. commits war crimes against us. All that matters is that we know what's going on with us in the U.S. Nothing else is our business." In as much as the first comment sounds like black people should not care about this, there were others who agreed with the sister and said they think this don't matter because it's on the other side of the world, but we have been done this way, so how can we not support Palestine? Until it's you again, heavy on the again, we cannot let this happen again to anyone. These are just other people's thoughts on this, but what are your thoughts on this? See you in the comments as you share your thoughts. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video.